Alright, so what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, man. It's your boy, and apologies for being late with the last one, but let's get right into this one. Sneak peek number 2 for the January update, and things are getting even more interesting than I thought they could. Right? And that's pretty crazy considering the next update is the Warriors of the Sky, right? And for the first time ever, we're gonna see 4 characters somehow combine their powers into one being, right? Which is the Sky Kirin, a supercharged OP dragon-like creature in Marvel Future Fight, right? What could be crazier than that? Something we've never seen before. Well, somehow, someway, the Avengers, Iron Man, Black Widow, Captain America is involved in this update. And what's even more interesting is somehow, someway, these heroes, right, that we've known and loved forever are now branded as villains, criminals. Oh my goodness, things are getting hot, boys. Spicy, juicy, if you will. So we gotta take a look at this post right here from CM Fragment because we need answers, boys. We need a whole lot of answers. So the message goes, greetings, agents. This is CM Fragment of the Marvel Future Fight team. We've proven that time travel is possible and that the multiverse exists. So doing surveillance to monitor these new spaces is becoming more and more vital. That is why we put a call out for those willing to take this risk of exploring for greater good, right? Exploring for the greater good. The result of the recruitment yielded 3 characters who are willing to risk their lives. These are the first characters you've met in Marvel Future Fight. For those of you guys who've been playing for a while, you may be like, whoa, who are the first 3? Okay, come on. We know it's Iron Man, Captain America, and Black Widow. So they're taking us back to the roots, the very beginning of Marvel Future Fight. Well, to be honest, the first 3 characters that we met in this game are actually not Black Widow, Captain America, and Iron Man. It's actually Black Panther, Thor, and Black Bolt in the tutorial. But let's say you skip the tutorial. The first 3 characters you did recruit, however, right? Yeah, were Iron Man, Black Widow, and Captain America. So, characters that were sent to explore new places, and we have this interesting little trailer right here, which shows us a brand new look on an old favorite, Iron Man, branded as a criminal. Then we have Black Widow, also branded as a criminal, and we see someone resembling, right, Captain America with the name Captain America listed, with a reward issue. Captain America, Steve Rogers, as patriotic as they come, is now somehow a villain in this time period. Things are getting very, very interesting, my friends. And then they follow up by saying, let's look forward to the information that they will find. More information will be shared, so please stay tuned. I am confusion. Are you not? Right? We now see 3 uniforms, possibly, right? Because these are not going to be new characters. And Lady Deadpool came into this game, and she, as her own character, didn't get that service, right? More than likely, these 3 looks will most likely be uniforms, and as such, people are already losing their minds. We have half the player base excited at the possibility of getting new uniforms for old favorites, and then we have another half who are very, very volatile, hostile, and they are very, very right to be so, because we just got uniforms for these characters not too long ago, right? And in addition to that, Black Widow is due for another uniform in May this coming year. So the timing on these uniforms are very much so off, in my opinion. But nonetheless, I am curious what the Avengers have to do with the Warriors of the Sky, right? Not something I thought I would be saying. Warriors of the Sky versus Avengers, but we could possibly be seeing that. Is this going to be like a Dark Avengers / Warriors of the Sky update, where the reason why the Warriors of the Sky are coming together is to save the world from the heroes that used to protect us? Imagine that, right? How are these new uniforms going to be acquirable? Is it going to be for crystals, or right? Will there be new content that is coming along with these new uniforms, and there will be a lock that way? Because that's what many of us are hoping for, new game modes in 2020. And considering the fact that a couple months ago they removed the vital resources that we cared about from story missions, being the Stark branded blueprints and Urus, right? Now more than ever, story missions are just a massive waste of time, and nobody plays this thing unless there is a daily challenge that requires you to play story missions, or if you have like an event going on and it says clear story missions 5 times, right? Besides that, nobody plays story missions anymore, and the fact that they went and removed these resources tells me that they have something planned that involves the story missions. And the thing is, the first hint that we got in regards to this coming update, right, showed us a map where the warriors of the sky were being showcased in multiple different locations, as if they were on a journey, or rather we the player were going on a journey to find these characters, right? So it would be interesting if they deprecated the entirety of the story missions, and maybe that is why they're like alluding to the fact that the first 3 characters that we met, which we got from story missions, right, the ones who started it all are back to end it all, right? It would be very, very nice for them to remove story missions and give us something new, challenging, and rewarding in its place, because the time for story missions have ended because of how like easy they are. So it would be nice to see some new chapters possibly added and these get removed in their entirety, because I think they take up a good amount of space on the server, and if nobody's playing them, removing them would not only take more load off the server but also leave room for them to put something else in its place, right? And if they were willing to take out daily missions, special missions, and dimension rift, things that were being used on a daily basis by, I would say, 90% of the player base, why would they leave story missions, right? So I think they should definitely take story missions out at some point, if not this update. But I think, right, this is going to be the update that remove story missions and give us that epic journey, right? Maybe that's what they're gonna call it, an epic journey. I don't know, right? Where we go on a mission to locate the warriors of the sky to help protect us from these new dark Avengers, right? And it's going to be very interesting to see how they manage to make Black Widow stronger than she is, to make us want to buy a uniform for her, but then at the same time mentally prepare us to buy another uniform when she gets her movie, right? You see, the thing is, I don't have a problem. Well, I kind of do, but I don't. Like, I don't have a problem with these guys getting uniforms over and over and over again. The only problem I have is when there's characters in this game like Ghost Rider, Blade, and all those other characters that's never gotten their moment in the sun, and they're still like at the bottom of the game, when we have like what, almost 10 different uniforms for Captain America. I understand Captain America has several different looks and he's featured in several different comic runs because he's just that popular. But man, some people are just gonna get tired of seeing Captain America whoop ass over and over and over again. And honestly, the work that the Future Fight team put into these latest uniforms for Captain America and Iron Man, they deserve to stand for a little while before they get replaced. The thing is though, some of you guys are saying that this might be a 2099 version of them. I don't see it. Like, none of these uniforms right here look anything like the ones we saw in the little trailer, so it doesn't make sense to me. I have no clue where these uniforms are coming from. If they're like in a comic run, I couldn't find it, right? And it's going to be interesting to see where they go from here. Honestly, I'm gonna be 100% real with you guys. I don't want this uniform for Tony to become irrelevant. This has a special place in my heart. Seeing him snap every single time and just turn him off because the dust, like, pardon my language, right, is just absolutely fantastic. It just brings back so much nostalgia to the movie, and this is one of those uniforms that I want to be relevant for quite some time. And I know it would still be a good uniform even if he got a better one, but nonetheless, I think, right, they should just make these new versions of the Avengers things that are characters that we fight for rewards in a new type of content, and not necessarily uniforms. Because if they give Iron Man a villain uniform, then he's immediately competing with Cyclops, even more so than he already is. That's gonna kind of, like, depending on how powerful that uniform is, kind of cost them money in the long run, because maybe less people will buy Cyclops' uniform if Iron Man can cover like 2 days in ABX, right? And the same thing can be said for Captain America. If Captain America gets a villain uniform, which makes him, I don't know, close to what Namor can do or Apocalypse can do in ABX, for the people who care about ABX, they may be like, think to themselves, why would I buy a villain uniform for Namor, who's a character that's already like way more expensive because he costs actual cash? Then I have to actually spend money on a bio sub to then get his uniform to Mythic, or use like uniform rank up tickets, when I can then get a cheaper alternative in Captain America, who can cover, like, you know what I'm saying, Combat Hero Day and Combat Villain Day. Ultimately, by giving Captain America a villain uniform, they hurt their own bottom line. So just think about it like that, guys. it would be beneficial for the free-to-play community, but then again, I don't think anyone in the free-to-play community actually takes ABX seriously. So buying a uniform, right, for Captain America just to make him a villain so you can hit the cap on the Super Villain Day, I don't see many people doing that, right? So all that's left is Shadowland if we get nothing else, and these are just uniforms being advertised. I'm very intrigued to see what they're gonna do differently that they haven't done before in what, like 10 different reiterations of Captain America, right? Personally, I would love it. I would absolutely love it if they brought these new uniforms in. They deprecated Story Mission in its entirety, and what they did was lock these uniforms behind completing content. Kind of like how you had to beat World Boss, you had to beat them a certain amount of time to get their biometrics to unlock the character. It would be so cool if we had a piece of content in this game where, to unlock certain uniforms, to get that prestige, just having that uniform in your roster, even if it's not like super OP busted, to have that uniform, you have to have the skill level to actually take down pieces of content. So when you wear that uniform, you just feel badass, like I earned this with more than just my credit card. You dig? Now obviously having CTPs and all that stuff may like augment it and make it so that you know you can get it faster than other people, but still, it would be cool to see those uniforms come to the game in a different way, because they're already showing signs that they want to do different things in terms of acquiring uniforms. You know what I'm saying? Gwenpool, holiday, uniform. Anyways, so yeah, I'm intrigued to see where this goes and how this is going to tie into the Warriors of the Sky. I want to hear from you guys though. Let me know if you found anything that hints to where these uniforms are coming from, because honestly, I haven't found anything. And vidIQ actually left us a sequence of numbers over on Twitter, which I'm going to show you guys right now. As you can see, 113135, Captain America, Iron Man, Black Widow. More details after the new year, hashtag Marvel Future Fight. And it's the same trailer right here that we saw earlier. I have no idea what these numbers mean, and I'm stupid enough and crazy enough that I actually Googled these numbers, and this is what came up. So I decided to actually just Google Marvel, and this is actually what came up. You can see that the second thing right here is actually a mobile room post from the Marvel Future Fight team, and basically it just says this: thank you for the great game, but seriously though, you need a better thank you video, right? And this is an old post. I cannot find a video, right, on Mobile Room, and I didn't think in 2019 I would actually be back on Mobile Room, right? Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to wrap it up right here. I'm curious to know what you guys have found in regards to these new potential uniforms, right? And what these numbers possibly mean. vidIQ, you need to give us some answers, bro. You need to give us some answers. Till next time, though, stay safe. I love you guys. Peace out.